Hey guys, George at SoundTraxx here, and this week I wanted to go back and we're going to talk a little bit more about the new Android app that we've got released and some of the cool little features that are built into the decoder so that way you can get the most out of operating your locomotives, especially now using the new Android app. So in front of me here I've got my two latest projects. This is an SD40-2 and this is an SD40, both for the Missouri Pacific. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to show you a little bit of how to do the function remap, how that works, and way it works with the Android app so that way it makes it a little bit more fun and easy and quick to do so that you can reassign the buttons. So, I've rambled on long enough. Let's get started. Now, with the new Android app, there's actually a completely new program that's being written. Now, part of the reason this has taken so long is that there's a lot of features that had to be recoded that are available in the Apple version just as a stock app development. But then a lot of this stuff, as far as connections, things like that, had to be redesigned. And of course, nobody's going to share that information because they don't know if we were trying to copy their device or their app or whatever. So a lot of this has gone into some time to get the app up and going for the Android. But the good news is the wait is well worth it because we've got a lot of great new features into this. Now, for all you Apple users out there like myself, don't panic. We will be coming to Apple as well. They're just going to try to finish off a few more things here in the Android version before it's ported over to Apple. So for the moment, Apple users know you can't do what I'm about to show you, but you will be able to do it very soon. So first off here, let's go ahead and screen record here. So now that we're screen recording, I'm going to go ahead and show you some of this features. Now first off here, we're going to go ahead and start with our 6009. And down at the bottom, we're going to go ahead and push the gear settings so I can go into my functions or my settings. Now up here at the middle there, you'll see function remap. And what that allows me to do is that allows me to assign any of the effects, whether it be a lighting effect, sound effect, or some sort of other logic modifier, such as momentum on and off. You can go through here and set this up. Now you'll look at this first screen here, and you can see that the CVs are labeled right there, but it gives you the information. So for example here, you see that my headlight is set to 0, but my backup light, as we've discussed in videos in the past for my personal operation, the backup light is on function 28. Now, let's say I wanted to reassign it. So I simply click the box that's next to the number, and you'll see this menu pop up. And this is how easy it is. All I have to do is go through the list and find out where I want my light assignment to be. So let's say, for argument's sake, I wanted to put it on 23. So I click on the 23 and you can see that the checkbox gets moved over to the 23. The 28 is done. So now this does all the work for me, and I accidentally hit my screen, so let's try this again. So we've got 23. Now we have save or cancel. So we're going to go ahead and save it. Now you can see that this says 23 is the backup light. We can remove these anywhere we want to go. I'm going to go ahead and put this back to 28. And this allows us to reassign anything anywhere we want to do and makes it easy and quick. So this here, we have our full access to all of our functions, sound effects, everything else. So for example, a head-end power mode. Now this is a sound that you would be associated with passenger equipment. So with our SD40s, there's no head-end power. So as you can see, we've checked that as none. So therefore that it is no longer going to be accessible as a function on these locomotives, so we can save that. And we can go all the way down here. Coupler, all aboard, fuel loading, all of this stuff. Everything has a button assigned to it. Now, when we go back to our function mapping list, we go up here to the function button. Now you can see that everything there is labeled out. Now there are some of these, for example, the F9, that I don't have anything assigned to. And so it says it's the F9, but there's no function associated with it. Now we can rename all of these. Now we're going to go to the 15 to 28 because this is where all my lights are, so that way you can see where all the lights would be associated with on this locomotive. Now the Missouri Pacific coal units, which are designated actually as SD40-2C, you actually have the first 20 in their orders had the inclusion of the rotary beacon here on top and then a nose Mars light on the nose. Anyway, so we reassigned those, or I reassigned them to different buttons, so you can kind of see here that they don't really come up as the name because I have them on my phone. So my personal phone actually has those names designated, but these names stay with the device. So we need to set this device up so that way it knows the names of the effects. So again, we're going to go to our settings here, and we're going to go to our Manage Function panel. Now you can see that there. We're going to push that. Now you can scroll through here. Now you can see F9. Because I don't have anything assigned to it, we want to make that blank. So we're just going to come over here, and we're going to delete it. And now, right now, I just put a blank space in there to take away the F9 nomenclature. But where you look, you see where it says toggle. That allows us to make it, toggle on, toggle off. Or if I uncheck that, then it would become momentary. And then the other one is you're going to see where it says lock name. And the reason you want to lock the name is because every time the decoder is connected to your device, it goes in and reads all the CVs to make sure all the menus and everything that are in the app match the current settings on the decoder. Now, if you don't lock the name, when it goes through and reads all the function mapping, it's going to overwrite what you just put in there because it wasn't locked. And so it'll say, oh, well, this is the F9 or this is the FX whatever lighting output. And so that's how you do it. So when you save that, you'll see here on the screen that now the 9, there's nothing there because I don't have anything assigned to it. So that way I don't have to worry about it. And we can do that here with the F13. Again, I do the same thing. I don't choose to use the coupler sound. Again, that's my choice. And we save it, and you can see that. Now, when we come up here, now the 22 is what I have assigned to the rotary beacon. 23 I've assigned to the nose Mars light. And the reason is because on all my other locomotives, those functions are either used as automatic or reassigned somewhere else. So they're unused in this point. So right here, we can come in here, and we're going to type in rotary beacon. And then we do want to toggle that to leave it on, but we're going to go ahead and lock the name in. So now we're going to hit save. And then the F23, as I mentioned, is the nose Mars light. So we're going to go ahead and hit that or type that in. Okay, so we've got Mars light. We're going to lock our name and we're going to hit save. So now you can see in my list here that I've got rotary beacon and Mars light saved. Now the next one, FX3, is my front class lights. FX4 is my rear class lights. FX8 there is where I've got my number boards and everything assigned to it. So just to show you, again, this is just an example here. So we're going to go ahead and close that. We're going to reopen it. And now you can see that everything has changed. So now you can see that it says rotary beacon. So when I turn on the rotary beacon, you can see that the rotary beacon comes on. Now from that perspective, you can't see the Mars light, but tune into our podcast because I'm going to talk about these models here in front of me during our next episode of the podcast to just kind of show you some of the cool settings and things that I've got built into these locomotives. But anyway, we go back to F0 through 14 there. You can see that the F9 and the F13 are now blanked out because I have nothing assigned to them. But when I push the button, you see that it says on, but then when I release, it immediately goes out. So that would be the equivalent of a momentary button. And you can do that for things like, for example, if you have an automatic coupler that is using an electromagnet to open the knuckle and then close it off so that way you don't overburn the coil if you're not pushing the on and then off quick enough. But one other example of momentary would be the air horn. And then when we turn it off, then the sounds continue to play until we release the button. In this case, I have the grade crossing bell, so it will continue to play until the timer turns off. So these are just a couple of the things that are new in the Android app that are coming to Apple very soon, but this gives you a lot more flexibility built into being able to use your locomotives. Now we've got a lot of other cool things built into the Android device that we'll show you in another episode. So guys, thanks for watching. And if you feel this content was helpful for you, be sure to give us a like over there. And also, just for your knowledge and for your information, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that way you can be notified whenever we post new content like this or our podcast or any other customer videos and anything like that that we can share to help you enjoy your hobby just a little bit more. So again, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.